John Nagenda, this is your book, One Man's Week. What I want to say, some of us know you, some of us don't know you, sir. Tell us why you chose to write a book, what the book is about.
Actually, I feel such a fraud.
Right.
Because I've got a very good young publisher.
Right.
And he has managed to bring me here. I wasn't quite sure what my role was.
Okay.
But I now understand that it is to sell this book of mine.
Right.
I'm delighted,
right,
but slightly ashamed. Anyway, the lady who's just been up here,
yes,
for whom I clapped, if you thought she was long today, you don't know her. I once invited her to my house to have a little glass of water.
Right.
And she arrived at about 9:30 and left after 2 o'clock. So I don't feel so guilty now. But I agree with you that when we talk of all those birds and so on, in a country like Uganda, and compare it with the huge American continent, it is fantastic, and thank you for speaking about it. Where I feel very proud that this book, through this young man here who made it in about 4 weeks from the time we saw it, it is full of my columns in our national paper, the New Vision. And let me tell you something. There are some people, you who didn't see, if any people didn't see them,
right,
but they're in red, and they're singing outside here and talking, I don't know what. But my column in our paper has criticized everybody there, excluding my friend, the Vice President. But the fact that I have done this with impunity and with pride makes me think that Uganda is a very special place.
Right.
And those who don't believe me, please buy this book, because in no other country that I know could it have been written so openly critical of even our most important ministers and indeed presidents.
So listen, I believe everybody should write a book, because you know you must have your reasons why. Why would you recommend everybody to do the same? Because everybody should have a voice, and you having your voice, and you're not living with that voice inside you, so why should other people do the same thing?
It is very important that we should say what we think and say it openly. And believe me, the Uganda that I worked nearly 10 years on the Commission to Human Rights, which is where I first met my friend, Vice President Sekandi, who was a lawyer. What a country, I would say, or you would say that, wouldn't you? But frankly, to be able to talk openly in a country like this, I noticed that the comrade who left us this week from Zimbabwe.
Oh, Mugabe, right.
Yes.
Right.
I noticed that he did fight enemies of his country, but I also noticed that he became extremely difficult to his citizens. And I wish he had taken some examples from some other people I could mention, but if I do, you think that I'm just flattering them to get a raise.
Okay. Now, let's pass on to this young man who is the publisher. Why do you chose to publish his book? Just quickly, because we need to move on.
Thank you very much. I know and believe that thoughts well articulated put meaning to life. And so I approached Mr. John Nagenda and said, well, you have said and done so much. Why don't you put it into a book and inform posterity that the youth will live to see and read and know that this was a path for Mr. John Nagenda. And so that is a challenge to all of us, that we need to put our life stories to a book and then inform generations, because development is based on thoughts passed on. If we live so well and study so much but die with all that we have, then we have only cheated ourselves. And that was my motivation.
Okay, we're good? That one, I need to understand it, but it's a